Guitar influencers. You know them all, they've been here forever, and you once consumed their content on a daily basis, but one thing you've never done is buy a paid guitar lesson program from these influencers. Well, obviously from the title, I'm gonna spend a lot of money on these paid programs to see if we're really missing out on something special here. Now, before we get into the video, I just want you guys to check out my guitar course for... Let's start with Music is Win's Guitar Super System. You don't need to pay anything to notice how much Tyler Larson has to offer in his Guitar Super System. So I think for this video, I'm gonna compile a group of songs that I made using the techniques that I learned from multiple guitar
influencers.
Anyways, I think I'm gonna go with the Japanese scale. Oh my gosh, okay. Dude, we're not even, what? I gotta pay attention, shut up. Some might argue the point that as a beginner, it's best to focus on one thing. But if I was a beginner, I would be in my glory. Okay, I got it. Eventually, I started stacking up the clues. So he's like, connect the dots. It's kind of like Polyphia. Wait, no, hold up. What the and he's doing like... Polyphia uses this in this song. Eddie Van Halen uses this technique in that song, or you know what I mean. This is the scale that my friend Josh was using when he used my fretless guitar. Let's try something else. They all look very entertaining. I want to get some slick whammy bar tricks. Now this is a floating bridge on this guitar, so I don't know how well it's going to translate, but the whammy bar is so smooth on this. He's advising caution to use a whammy bar. I love this guy. Oh, that's how Eddie Van Halen did that. Okay. Shortly after the Japanese scale, I learned some whammy tricks and almost kind of fell into a rut. Definitely need more gain though. This dude has like 24 frets. I think this is a bad idea. So I couldn't hit the harmonics that he was hitting, and on top of that, I didn't have a Floyd Rose. There was a warning at the beginning of this video, so I can't blame Tyler. Oh, okay. I got it. How much you want to bet my guitar's attitude right now? Yeah, I struggled with that, mainly because this guitar is a single coiled instrument. I gotta pick something good that would develop my songwriting skills. Hell, I paid $10 for this, I might as well use it. Gypsy scale it is. One thing I noticed about Tyler's lessons is they always spark some kind of inspiration inside of me. I mean, whether he plays a lick or teaches it, something just gets spat out. It's in Sing 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 by Louis Prima. I didn't know it was the Gypsy scale until just now. But overall, it's been pretty self-explanatory. I had to try the tapping category. The only tapping I've learned is from Polyphia and just watching random covers on YouTube. Forget how to play that one. I learned the one trick that Eddie Van Halen always does, the pick tapping. I'm worried that my pick is going to scratch my fretboard. Oh, it is. I got a piece of Tyler Larson everywhere I go with this Jaguar now. I'm happy to support by throwing him $10 a month. I mean, that's fine. I think all of this content is accessible through YouTube if you do enough digging. Although a week later, I ran into a problem where Tyler charged my card for $10 several days after I canceled my membership. And it turns out this is a common trend on the website. There's lots of people complaining about refunds. Please return my subscription fee. I'm at level 2 of music theory and you haven't taught me anything so far. I'd like to learn to play instead of watching your guitar shows. Let's see if I could solve this. I don't know why my card details are still with you. I don't know why Guitar Super System charged me for 120 USD all of a sudden. Tyler Larson is objectively bluesy, but things were different when I added Yvette Young to the picture. Yvette Young is a renowned math rock guitarist. Anyways, I purchased the lesson through TrueFire for about $10. One purchase and you have her for life. That sounded really weird. Hold on. Man, there's so many options for $10. This is great. Dude, I'm sorry. How good does this... This Strat sounds too good, dude. You're distracting the hell out of me. I need to fucking concentrate. Yvette Young kind of just does her own thing. The entire lesson we were tuned to open D. Oh, it's like... But it's good to push yourself out of your comfort zone. I'm not gonna lie, I skipped ahead a couple lessons because I don't have time, but we're in the thick of it now. It's super important to step outside of your comfort zone though, so I have no problem with it. The main thing I struggled with was finger dexterity in my right hand. Man. Of course, now I can't play it when I'm trying to show off. The trick is when you're learning something new on guitar, you gotta at least be able to play it 5 times in a row. If you can't do that, you gotta start slow. I spent a couple hours just trying to match her level 1 speed. See, I'm not even there yet. Nope. But somehow by pushing myself, Yvette brought out the best in me. But it helps looking at my left hand rather than my right. If I look at my right, I get all confused. You can increase speed on this website too. Why would you want to do that? The entire lesson can be summed up to the term a bowl in a china shop. See, it's those top strings that always ruin me. If it's not working, I take a break, come back, and then it's like, boom, it works right away. I want to use these fingers. In this exercise, we're doing 5, this one, and then this one, I think. This is like trying to teach a football player philosophy. It's like a bowl in a china shop. It's not working out very well. Again, this guitar influencer made this lesson during an early point in her career. I'm telling you, when you're just starting out, guitar lessons are a good bag. That's my theory. Okay, now for my favorite part of the video where I scramble for a guitar with humbuckers in it because we're about to play some metal music. And luckily, oops, she's talking to you already, I got this dumpster guitar. Yeah, this thing cost me nothing, but it sounds great. I mean, it rips. Most importantly, now there were 2 guitar influencers that came to my mind first, and one of them was Burnt. But the man is taxing, so I think I'm going to save that for later in the video. But for the current time, right now, Nick Nocturnal seemed like a good candidate. You know, I think I'm interested in learning Nick's songwriting process because I'm trying to write a metal song ultimately. $40, bro. And I already know how to play guitar. This is ridiculous. I was honestly kind of worried that there wasn't going to be any controversial guitar classes. And then I met Nick and his little friend Scouty. This was created 2 years ago. This is previous Nick, shelf life expired. It's 2 people. I paid for just Nick, so why am I getting another person talking? After spending $40, I felt useless. I felt betrayed. 33 minutes into the video, there is no guitar whatsoever. It's just Nick as himself. And the only licks he did play were extremely challenging. Right now, he just played the coolest riff he's ever played. He's in a small little corner on the top right of the screen. All I hear is the acoustic. At least Yvette had her guitar plugged in. Okay, so we just addressed a minor scale, which is like... Don't ask me about minor scales. The main problem I have with metal music is the grip. Thumb planted at the back of the headstock or the back of the neck. But as a Hendrix fan, I was raised on the thumb grip. It's insanely hard to shift over into this support grip. Back to this riff. I believe that this company, again, paid a big bag for Nick to sit up there and talk about his life. Nick Nocturnal is into voodoo music. He's the devil. You're into voodoo music. You use the devil to find your notes. It's so clear through this progression. When I was younger, I used to think Jimi Hendrix was like a devil worshiper because the intro of Purple Haze is like, oh, it's the devil's triad. Almost 2 hours into the video, we got a guitar signal. I mean... started from the bottom, now we're here. And then there was this section about like content creation and how to make it as a guitar YouTuber, just inspiring another generation of scammy guitar influencer lessons. Definitely a big fat thumbs down, but I couldn't just leave with this half-ass guitar lesson, so I had to hit up Bernth. So you have his $100 guitar course, and then you have his Patreon, which is only about $5. A golden shining light in a sea of greedy influencer prices. At least from this one lesson that I'm trying, there's clear goals that he's setting for the viewer. It seems like we're jumping right into it. There's clearly a guitar in his hands. There's no down picks whatsoever. It is just... that dynamic motion was not coming to me naturally. Volume low, chop slow, and then I eventually picked it up. By just spending $5 on his Patreon, I got access to hundreds of lessons. The lessons started pretty beginner friendly, and he switched it up real quick. I'm not going to spoil it completely, because, you know, it's a paid service, but he mixed up the lessons with rhythm and picking exercises, techniques, and such. That's another great thing out of this lesson. Always stretch before you practice. Train those hands as if you were an athlete. It was just a little stale. These lessons are great, they're paced well, not feeling too inspired from them. Bernth's Patreon reminded me a lot of Tyler Larson's Guitar Super System. They're kind of chained down to this particular sound. That could be a good or a bad thing. I am struggling with these. It should be all-inclusive as a guitar lesson. As you can see, I got my 12-string guitar handy. It's because we're going to learn some acoustic blues from Marty Schwartz. There's some mysterious stainage going on here. This guitar's been good to me. Okay, so we're learning the 12-bar blues in Chapter 2, remaining in the key of E. Obviously, I didn't think I was going to learn much from Marty's video, mainly because every thumbnail in his previews, he was just holding the same neck position up here by the 1st fret. I had to challenge myself. I feel like I won't learn anything from it, and it's similar in price to Nick Nocturnal's video, so I figured why not just ball out and go for the $70 Samurai Guitar Theory by none other than Samurai Guitarist. $70 for a guitar course. There was a little progress bar that kept increasing. That progress bar is a good representation of my patience, because right now we're working on how to play a chord correctly, like an open chord like this. From a beginner standpoint, do I think Samurai Guitar Theory would be helpful? Yes, 100%. But for $70, no way. Stay away. So far, for $70, you can find everything I just learned on YouTube for free. We just got our first Samurai mess up. He ended up doing something like clipping the note there. I've gone through $35 of guitar teaching. I'd say a solid 20 minutes of content for that $35 of teaching. This man is getting paid $175 an hour to teach your ass. Samurai guitarist must have been looking over what he just created and said to himself, oh crap, I should actually teach them something useful. Hold the phone, I just learned something. I learned what this chord is called. This is an E add 9. I've always loved that chord, especially this wacky one. So now I know that it is based around an E add 9 chord. If you take an E9 chord like this, and then you add your pinky up here, that's an extension. The pinky is the extension. That's my happy song. If you really want to learn new things on guitar, I think you just have to put in the effort. It just takes time, and some of these guitar courses act as if there's a secret to becoming good at guitar overnight, and that pains me to the core. Oh yeah, this is the one I was most interested in. Thinking like a bass player. I'm predicting he'll do something like this, where you use your thumb as a bass. But he's teaching something that I've already learned. Something I've learned from Leadbelly and Johnny Cash, and it wasn't $70. And the last lesson is not even a lesson. It's a closing video. Oh my gosh. At the end of the day, I'm glad I could hopefully pass on this message to you or a friend who is considering buying an online guitar course. Just don't do it. Everything's on YouTube, easily accessible, and completely free. Samurai guitarist, man, I learned nothing from you. Tried to learn some chords, but all you did was teach me too. Kinda sucks, but it's not your fault. I know you can do better than chasing an easy bag. Sammy G he just stuffed me at the rim.